Hey everybody, it is Monday afternoon. It is an absolutely beautiful day. I had to come out and sit out here for at least a little bit. I hope you're taking advantage of it, getting off to an awesome start for the week. But I got a couple of quick things to update you on, everybody on, and I've got a tip with it supposed to be so hot this week, how to stay at that peak efficiency. And to me, the heat is always about making sure that you're feeling good. You got to get a good sleep the night before. I always had to have cold water with me. It made a huge difference. So what I would do to make sure I had cold water all through the entire day on a hot day is I'd take a water bottle, I'd take a swig out of it and freeze it so it didn't explode. I'd have a couple of those, and then I'd have another one to start the day, so that as the day went on, those melted and I always had cold water. The other thing for me was sunscreen. I hate wearing sunscreen, but I made sure that I always had sunscreen with me. I find you get what you pay for with sunscreen. So sometimes it's a little more expensive, but it's well worth the extra couple bucks to get some good sunscreen. So good sunscreen, good sleep, and cold water. It's going to make it a far better day for you as you go through. It's supposed to be real hot, so make sure you take advantage of that and be real careful this week with the heat. The other things I wanted to talk about was Team 2021, and as well as big week next week. So next week is a big week. I don't know if you heard about it. Maybe you've heard, but next week's going to be a big week. But to take advantage of our big week contest next week, you got to do a lot of things this week to lay the foundation. So hopefully you started doing some of those things last week. But next week we've got our big week competition. It's how far can you move your business? If you had a big week, how far forward could you move it? Could you move it 10% forward? Can you move it 20% forward? Could you move your business 30% forward in 1 week? You can absolutely do it. Just depends how prepared you are. So having a solid, strong week this week will make that momentum run into next week. As many estimates as you can possibly do this week, making sure that your callbacks are clean, that you know where all your needs rescheduling are at. It's going to be a huge thing for you. Make sure you have cold callers as well. So again, next week we're going to roll it out as we get closer, but it's going to be a big week next week. So make sure you're hiring cold callers. If you don't have ads up right now, get those up. Make sure that you've got people coming out with you this weekend so they can get some repetitions and you can get as many estimates done as possible, so you guys make callbacks as possible next week. So next week, I don't know if you heard, next week's gonna be a big week. Make sure you're ready to take advantage of it. And Team 2021, so it's interesting. It's the middle of July or middle of June. By the middle of July, a huge piece of our team for Team 21 will already be put together. And there's a lot of people that have started thinking about it, and there's a lot of people that are already committed to being a part of that team in 2021. I'm super excited about 2021. We've done a lot in the last 3 or 4 months to make our company a better company for next year, but doing it in a way that's allowing us to get more done this year. So productivity is up. I can't wait to get a run at next year in a non-COVID world. Knock on wood, I guess it's going to be a non-COVID world. But if we can get through this year, can you imagine what you could do next year? So with all that said, there's a couple things that are going to happen as part of it. So for those that are rookies that are going to be part of the team, your coaches will be looking over the next couple of weeks as to, again, who they want to invite to continue their business, and who wants to be invited to be continuing their business into Team 21. But with that said, rookies that commit to next year by TS June, so I guess in Ontario it'd be TS July, that first week of July, will be invited to provide senior services in your turf for the rest of the season. So that's one of the advantages of it, and making that decision early is that you can have a huge impact on your 2020 and set your business up to crush it in 2021. So again, you'll be able to power wash and deck sealing. There's a training session that'll be happening that that second week probably, I guess, of July. So if you've committed to continue, you'll have that opportunity. We will also have kind of a bit of a round table, if you will, be a big round table. But we start on the full-time side really thinking about putting together the 2021 program in July, and starting to think about content for things like trainings and fall and what we're going to do. And anybody who's part of that team and has committed and been invited and committed to 2021 will be able to be a part of some of those things to talk about what we're going to do for senior trainings. What are the things that you think are important? What updates to the program do you think we could make so that you can be kind of a voice at the table as we continue to evolve the program? And the other thing that we're going to look at is the opportunity for you to put together throughout the month of July kind of like what you envision 2021 to be, and review that with Tony, myself, Dan, somebody from, let's say, the senior side of our business, just to really see what you can do this year to make sure that some of those things are happening in 2020, so that you're as set up as possible for 2021. I think 2021, and I know I'm biased and maybe optimistic at times, but I think it's going to be the biggest year we've ever had. I mean, we've grown the business every single year the last 5, I guess it is 4 or 5. We're going to grow the business in a COVID era. I can't imagine what we're going to do next year, especially if we're starting to think about it this year. And if we can do some of the things this year to get set up to crush it next year, you're going to have an amazing 2020. You're going to have an amazing foundation to jump off for 2021. And there's, I think there's a lot of people that deserve to be a part of that team, and want to continue their business and continue to be a part of the CP fam versus closing your business down and leaving College Pro. So with that said, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. We've got our newsletter and some of our winners tomorrow, but at the same time, as we're here Monday afternoon, you're getting your week started middle of June. Make sure you're prepared for that heat. Make sure you're getting yourself set up to have a big week next week, and talk to your coach about whether or not you're thinking that you'd like to be invited to continue your business for 2021 and be a part of what we are building, quite literally. And I think it's something we've never really done that, where some of the people that are brought on the team early can have a voice as to what the program looks like. So again, I hope everyone's having an awesome start to the week. Whatever you're trying to do this week, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. Make sure you're doing the right things to make sure momentum's going in the right direction, and that means getting yourself set up properly for next week. So again, a little longer than I think I expected, but I hope everybody, hopefully everybody's thinking a little bit about some of those things. I think it's the time of the year to start doing that, and have an awesome rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.